Resetting your finances in 90 days is not about transforming your life overnight, eliminating every expense, or chasing dramatic results that look impressive but collapse under pressure, but about creating a structured, realistic reset period where awareness increases, waste is reduced, systems are built, and financial stability begins to replace chaos, stress, and confusion through consistent and intentional decisions. Number 10. Pause financial autopilot and assess your current position. The first step in any financial reset is to stop operating on habit and begin observing your situation without judgment or urgency. Many people attempt to fix their finances without clearly understanding their current income, expenses, debts, and obligations, which leads to scattered and ineffective efforts. A proper reset begins with gathering all financial information in one place, including bank balances, monthly bills, debt totals, and recurring subscriptions. Seeing the full picture may feel uncomfortable at first, but clarity reduces fear more effectively than avoidance ever can. This awareness transforms vague anxiety into concrete numbers that can be addressed methodically. During the first phase of a 90-day reset, observation matters more than action. You cannot correct what you have not fully acknowledged. Number 9. Cut unnecessary expenses temporarily, not permanently. A 90-day financial reset works best when it feels structured and intentional rather than extreme or emotionally punishing. Many people fail because they approach financial change as a permanent loss instead of a temporary adjustment designed to create stability. When spending cuts are framed as lifelong sacrifices, the brain immediately resists and searches for reasons to quit. By defining this reset as a focused 90-day period, you create psychological safety around change. Temporary adjustments feel manageable because they have a clear timeline and purpose. During this period, pause non-essential subscriptions, reduce entertainment spending, limit dining out, and delay discretionary purchases. This is not about deprivation, but about creating breathing room. Breathing room reduces financial pressure and allows you to redirect money toward rebuilding stability. At the end of the reset, you can reintroduce selected expenses consciously rather than automatically. Temporary discipline often reveals that many expenses were habits rather than necessities. Number 8. Build a small emergency buffer before accelerating debt payments. During a reset, urgency often pushes people to aggressively attack debt without first strengthening their foundation. While paying off debt is important, doing so without liquidity creates fragility. If a car repair, medical bill, or unexpected expense appears, progress immediately collapses without a buffer. This cycle of progress followed by setback is what keeps many people stuck financially. Building even a modest emergency fund during the first phase of your reset reduces that fragility. A small buffer transforms emergencies from crises into inconveniences. When financial shocks are absorbed instead of borrowed against, momentum becomes stable. Stability reduces stress, and reduced stress improves long-term decision-making. Once a buffer exists, extra payments toward debt become strategic rather than reactive. Protection first, acceleration second creates sustainable progress. Number 7. Simplify your budget into essential categories. Financial chaos often comes from complexity rather than lack of effort. Many people try to track dozens of spending categories, which quickly becomes overwhelming and unsustainable. During a reset period, simplicity creates clarity and control. Group expenses into broad, essential categories such as housing, utilities, transportation, food, debt, and savings. Broad categories reduce decision fatigue and make patterns easier to identify. When overspending happens, it becomes visible immediately instead of buried inside minor classifications. Simplicity also makes weekly review sessions faster and less intimidating. A simple system increases the likelihood that you will consistently maintain it for the full 90 days. Consistency during the reset matters more than perfect precision. Clear structure allows you to focus on progress instead of micromanagement. Number 6. Increase income strategically during the reset window. Expense reduction creates space, but temporary income increases can dramatically accelerate recovery. A 90-day reset is an ideal time to pursue short-term income opportunities with clear boundaries. This may include overtime shifts, freelance work, selling unused items, tutoring, consulting, or small service-based tasks. The key is to treat this additional income as recovery fuel rather than lifestyle expansion. When extra money is spent casually, the reset loses its power. When it is directed towards savings or high-interest debt, momentum builds quickly. Visible progress reinforces motivation and strengthens commitment to the reset. Temporary effort for a defined period often feels easier than indefinite sacrifice. The knowledge that this increased workload has a purpose makes it sustainable. Strategic income boosts compress years of slow progress into focused months. Number 5. Automate stability before chasing growth. One of the most common reasons financial resets fail is not lack of effort, but inconsistency caused by manual decision-making. When every bill, transfer, and saving decision depends on memory or mood, small delays accumulate into larger disruptions. Automation removes uncertainty by ensuring that essential payments and savings transfers occur without requiring daily attention. By scheduling transfers immediately after income is received, you protect priority goals before discretionary spending begins. This structure shifts financial management from reactive to proactive. Proactive systems reduce the likelihood of missed payments, late fees, and emotional spending triggered by stress. When stability is automated, you no longer rely on willpower to maintain order. Reduced reliance on willpower lowers mental fatigue and decision exhaustion. As stress decreases, financial decisions become clearer and more deliberate. Growth becomes more sustainable only when stability no longer depends on constant vigilance. Number 4. Track spending weekly instead of monthly. Waiting until the end of the month to review finances often creates distance between actions and consequences. When mistakes are discovered weeks later, they are harder to correct and easier to rationalize. Weekly reviews shorten the feedback loop, allowing you to adjust before problems escalate. This rhythm builds awareness because spending decisions remain fresh in memory. Frequent reviews also prevent emotional denial, as numbers are examined regularly rather than avoided. Shorter tracking cycles make progress visible sooner, which reinforces motivation. Small weekly corrections prevent large monthly surprises. During a 90-day reset, momentum depends on rapid adjustment rather than delayed reaction. Regular review strengthens accountability without creating pressure. Improvement accelerates when awareness becomes a consistent habit rather than an occasional event. Number 3. Identify and eliminate financial leaks. Financial leaks rarely appear dramatic or urgent, which is why they often persist unnoticed. They show up as recurring subscriptions, hidden service fees, automatic renewals, inefficient insurance plans, or habitual impulse purchases that provide little lasting value. Individually, these expenses feel insignificant and therefore harmless. Collectively, they quietly consume a meaningful portion of monthly income. A focused 90-day reset creates the perfect opportunity to audit every recurring charge with intention. Examine not only whether an expense is affordable, but whether it is truly necessary or aligned with your priorities. Eliminating leaks increases available cash without requiring emotional sacrifice. This approach improves efficiency rather than imposing restriction. Efficiency strengthens your financial foundation while preserving quality of life. Permanent leak elimination multiplies the impact of every future paycheck. Number 2. Create a clear debt reduction plan with defined targets. Debt often feels overwhelming because it lacks structure and visible milestones. Without defined targets, payments can feel endless and discouraging. A clear 90-day plan transforms debt from a vague burden into a measurable objective. Choose a strategy that fits your psychology, whether that is focusing on high interest balances to reduce cost or smaller balances to build momentum. Break the total goal into monthly and weekly milestones to maintain clarity. Milestones provide evidence of progress, which sustains commitment during slower periods. Structured planning reduces uncertainty and increases confidence in your direction. Confidence strengthens discipline and improves follow-through. When every payment contributes to a defined outcome, motivation becomes grounded rather than emotional. Defined targets transform repayment into purposeful progress rather than routine obligation. Number 1. Redesign your financial identity. Long-term financial stability requires a shift in how you perceive yourself, not just how you manage money temporarily. If you continue identifying as someone who struggles with finances, your behavior will eventually align with that belief. A 90-day reset offers a defined window to practice a new financial identity built on intention, awareness, and responsibility. Small daily decisions, such as reviewing accounts or resisting unnecessary purchases, reinforce this emerging identity. Identity-based change is powerful because actions begin to feel natural rather than forced. When you see yourself as someone who manages money carefully, discipline becomes less exhausting. Habits begin aligning with this self-perception without constant mental effort. The reset evolves from a temporary correction into a lasting transformation. True financial change occurs when behavior matches belief. Redesigning identity ensures that progress continues beyond the 90-day window. Bonus tip: reflect deeply before returning to normal spending patterns. The final phase of a financial reset is reflection, which determines whether progress becomes permanent or temporary. Without deliberate reflection, old habits quietly reappear once pressure decreases. Take time to review which adjustments created meaningful improvement and which felt unnecessary or overly restrictive. Identify expenses that were not missed and consider permanently eliminating them. Strengthen systems that reduced stress and improved clarity during the reset. Recognize behaviors that created the most progress and formalize them into ongoing habits. Reflection transforms temporary discipline into structured lifestyle change. Structured change prevents regression into financial chaos. The lessons learned during focused effort should guide future decisions. Growth continues only when awareness remains active after the reset ends. If you want to reset your finances in 90 days, choose one area to improve first instead of trying to fix everything at once. Commit to it consistently during this focused window. Share in the comments which step you are starting with. Subscribe for realistic and structured financial guidance, and thank you for watching. See you next time.